So I guess, is there a problem? I have a problem. So Professor Skerritt's now moved on to work for Medicine Australia. Is there an issue in regards to a bureaucrat moving into the private sector so quickly after effectively being paid by Big Pharma through the TGA? And is there also a conflict with the TGA approving medicine/drugs and then also being responsible for looking at the injuries of those medicine/drugs, given that there's an inherent conflict of interest not to acknowledge that you might have missed something in the actual approval process?
Well, thanks for the question, Senator. If I can
well, it's not really a question for you because you work for the TGA, so you're clearly conflicted as it is.
I work for the department.
It's for the department.
Yeah.
Well, my address was actually, this is for the health. This TGA is later tonight. I want this to go to the health department. No, because the TGA report to the health department, so it's a question for the health department.
Yes, Professor Lawler, please respond.
Yeah, if I could be just really clear on the last point, I don't work for the TGA. I'm a Deputy Secretary of the Department of Health and Aged Care. The TGA is one of the areas under my responsibility.
Okay. Right. Okay, fine. I apologise.
I need to rotate the call. I'm going to Senator.
Are we going to answer that question first?
Can I? Sorry, I'm with you. Your guidance, Chair. I just think we've covered this issue of the conflict of interest of Professor Skerritt before, or lack of conflict. There are guidelines about what a former public servant can do in a lobbying capacity. There is no prohibition on a public servant moving into an area of which they have expertise in the private sector.
Okay, so what about the conflict of interest?
But Senator Roberts did cover this before, and we've got.
Well, what about the conflict of interest? Okay, and well, I'll pick up where Senator Roberts was corrected before. So, in regards to Professor Skerritt,
Senator Rennick, and then I need to rotate.
Yeah, so Professor Skerritt has clearly said in this room that the vaccines in the that lipids in the vaccine were the same as the lipids in a steak. That is not true. In their own TGA report, these lipids were novel lipids. They are positively charged lipids, and as I'm happy to table this document, positively charged lipids are toxic to the body. Okay, now that was never made clear by Professor Skerritt 2 years ago when I raised that issue. So I'll just touch on when there were comments made before about not being able to comment on his performance. As senators, we are a House review and we are able to comment on the performance of bureaucrats. I'll leave that as a comment.
Authorised G. Rennick, LNP Chermside.